Hello folks, iSamuelii, or 1 Samuel 2, however you want to say my name, I don't care. Just get the Samuel in the middle. This video is going to be about this latest controversy with NBC and their golf game broadcast and the Pledge of Allegiance controversy. I want to fill you in a little history of the Pledge of Allegiance, as written by a nice gentleman back in the 80s at least. Could have been 1970s. And to cut to the chase, there was no Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag until approximately September 8th, 1892. And it was a little campaign to sell American flags by a magazine called the Youth Companion. Actually, the Youth Companion, with apostrophe S after youth. The Youth Companion. And it carried on a little bit, raised money from subscriptions. They sold a bunch of different things. And the staff came up with the idea in August of 1892 as a drive to put a flag into every school building in the nation. The flags were priced at from $3.30 to $13, I guess, depending on the variety of flag you wanted to pick for your school. The magazine issued flag certificates. The pupils could sell for 10 cents each to help their schools raise money for the flags. And the pledge went as this: I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Period. That was it. I'll repeat. The original pledge, as written by the staff of this magazine, the Youth Companion: I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Period. It did catch on a little bit, as you all know. And let me see here. Congress took up the effort to get involved with the Pledge of Allegiance after a little controversy arose with a family of Jehovah Witnesses. Just one family, a few pupils in this one class. And their name were the Gobitis. G-O-B-I-T-I-S. The G-O-B-I-T-I-S children, according to their parents and their Jehovah Witness faith, could not stand and take a Pledge of Allegiance to any flag. They had to take any allegiance that was to their God. You can understand that, right? Strong religion, you gotta give your allegiance to your God and nobody else, especially a piece of cloth decorated in colors. So Congress took up this issue, and let me see, where's the date at? I'm trying to find the right paragraph. Well, in 1940, a Justice Frankfurter, which happened to be an immigrant to America, was on the court. He said, what the school authorities are really asserting is the right to awaken a child's mind, considerations to the significance of the flag contrary to those implanted by the parent. In such an attempt, the state is normally at a disadvantage in competing with the parent's authority, so long, and this is a vital aspect of religious toleration, as parents are unmolested in their right to counteract by their own persuasiveness the wisdom and rightness of these loyalties which the state's educational system is seeking to promote. Got that? So that was a Supreme Court's decision there, and going on and on to appease this one family of Jehovah Witnesses. They decided that to put the words "under God" in the pledge would be appropriate. Of course, with the Red Scare after the World War II and the Soviet Union, no longer an ally of America as it was during that war, but now for some reason seen as an atheist nation and no longer an ally. So a little extra push in the Americans' eyes, or the conservative view of America at the time, adding under God in the pledge would be the right, proper thing to do. So they come up with different versions and so forth. Here's one of them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Does it sound like about what it came out to? Well, here's three different versions with the commas in different locations. And a slight wording in the last one is different. Blah blah blah, republic for which it stands, one nation, excuse me, I'll start over, I missed a comma. Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, ... Here's number 2. Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the third version they thought about, republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all. You notice there's a slight difference there. 3 proposed insertions is just a comma and a slight word arrangement in the last version. So what do we finally wind up with? We wind up with a bunch of upset people because NBC actually put the proper Pledge of Allegiance in before the 2 words under God were inserted into it to appease one family, a few pupils in a school classroom of Jehovah Witnesses, because they could not stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And do you know the proper way to say the pledge? Is to be this. This is the way the 77th Congress, let me see, in the Flag Etiquette Amendment, Public Law 829, 77th Congress, Chapter 806, Second Session, HJ Resolution 359, added Section 7 to the following paragraph to former Public Law 623, that the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and quote, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Period. End quote. Be rendered by standing with the right hand over the heart. However, civilians will always show full respect to the flag when the pledge is given by merely standing at attention. Men removing the headdress, persons in uniform shall render the military salute. That's the way it was in, let me see the year, 1942. Okay? The pledge never was around in this country until 1892, when this magazine company decided to have a little promotion to get flags into the classrooms all across the nation, to sell the flags between $3.30 up to $13 a piece for each classroom. The kids were, you know, encouraged to go out there and sell these tickets or certificates for 10 cents a piece to raise this money to purchase these flags. So bickering back and forth, we wind up with our Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, proud moment of life there, buddy. Nice wet flag waving in that scene, isn't it? Anyhow, these people are all upset, threatening to boycott the advertisers, never watch NBC again, never watch golf again. I'd like to see them hold up to that. You know, if they're a fan to watch the golf program to begin with, I don't think they'll be avoiding it in the future. Well, that's the Pledge of Allegiance, a slight history for you. There's a lot more details involved. It takes up 6 pages in this magazine I have. a very thorough article by John G. Murray. And this issue was 1988. November 1988 was this article came out detailing the pledge. There was a slight controversy at the time with a young man, Ricky Sherman, first the Community Consolidated School District. Well, is that enough details for you on the Pledge of Allegiance? Never around in this country until 1892. Well, a private company decided to sell some flags to get them into each and every classroom across the nation. Then Congress picked it up later, and right around World War II. Nice thing to get involved in. We got an atheist country to go against now. The Soviets, the Ruskies, the Commie Red Scare. Nice indoctrination for the kids to add under God in their daily activities in school every morning. And my personal opinion is, why can't you people that believe in God, at least the Christians that hold the Bible so dear, why can't you just follow the recommendation in your book of Matthew and keep your religion and your prayers and all that to yourself? You know, stand on a public corner screaming the Lord is not what your Jesus wanted, was it? No, it wasn't. You can't even follow your own biblical guides. When it comes to the Pledge of Allegiance, you should dump the under God to begin with if you want to say it at all. Because not everybody feels there's a God out there, including me. And put these poor kids through this torture of severe contradictions within that book is setting them up for insane reactions later on in life. You know, do I go this way, that way? God is really tearing up this country. They say the Romans' downfall was because of all the hedonism, the sins, the homosexuality, whatever. But it kind of coincides with the rise of Christianity, doesn't it? The Christians closed the bathhouses when they became powerful. Before that, people had a choice to go into bathhouses and wash and get clean. And nowadays a lot of Christians and believers say cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, back then when you're down destroying the Roman Empire, it was dirt was next to godliness. Have a good day, people.